Light, a phenomenon with thousands of variations, sunlight or moonlight, morning or afternoon light, guiding light and ever-changing light, which brought to life Beghelli, the Italian group specialized in emergency lighting, energy-saving LED lighting, electronic security systems, and energy-generating systems. Products and services that contribute to people's well-being, their safety, and the quality of their environment. The Beghelli Group has established and consolidated its success in various markets by following a precise strategy based on research, innovation, communication and service, and also by exploiting its ability to anticipate new needs and new trends. Launched on the Milan Stock Exchange in 1998, the company functions at international level by having its product ideas manufactured and sold throughout Europe, but also in China, the USA, Canada and Mexico. One reality composed of 1,000 realities, capable of analyzing how different consumer scenarios can influence one another and provide clues on how to develop distinctive product solutions. Ever since its founding, Beghelli's headquarters has been the town of Montevideo in the province of Bologna. Product conception, research and innovation, development, advertising, commercial distribution, all strategic decisions are taken in the company's original base in Emilia, but the manufacturing plant in nearby Savigno, where over 50 million plastic components are made every year, also plays a fundamental role, as does the factory in Pieve Pelago in the Apennino foothills in the province of Modena, where all the electronic components of Beghelli products are made. Here every day, over 1.5 million electronic components are inserted on printed circuits. To complete Beghelli's all-round offer, Beghelli Servizi has been created, a services company that offers integrated services for the reduction of energy consumption, also in ESCO modality, to homes, companies and public bodies. This is basically achieved by substituting existing lighting systems with new LED systems equipped with avant-garde devices for monitoring in real time the savings achieved and the domotic management of the entire lighting system. Beghelli Servizi also runs the Beghelli Operative Center, the group's call center. But the group's territorial extension spreads far beyond the borders of Italy. Acquisitions over the years have led to the existence of Beghelli Elplast in the Czech Republic, which produces lighting appliances and distributes company products throughout Eastern Europe. Likewise, Beghelli Precisa in Germany, which specializes in the production of emergency systems with centralized batteries. More recently in Poland and Hungary, Beghelli has established bases for development through companies dedicated to selling its entire catalog. And outside Europe, Beghelli has carried out expansion operators through major investments and acquisitions. In China, as well as reinforcing its manufacturing sites, the group has injected its original solutions into one of the world's hugest markets. In Canada and Mexico, it runs its own manufacturing plants and organizations for developing and selling its systems, adjusted to North American standards. It is also present in Hong Kong and the United States, with branches dedicated to reinforcing its local supply chain and product sales. But Beghelli's real strength lies in the heart of all its products, a technology that has shown itself to be capable of constant renewal, seeking continuous improvement in terms of reducing power consumption and increasing visual comfort. The over 4,000 items currently filling the company catalogue exhaustively illustrate a product range based above all on emergency lighting and energy savings. These goals had been placed at the center of Beghelli Group's priorities as far back as the year 2000, when it launched its advertising campaign, "Every cent saved is a cent gained," with an exceptional testimonial, Robert De Niro. Lighting systems is the field where the Beghelli Group draws upon all its experience and expertise in the sector of energy management and optical design. Latest generation LED systems are capable of amazing performances in creating the ideal kind of lighting for every context, while also saving over 80% on energy consumption, an achievement inconceivable until very recently. These high-performance systems succeed in reducing electricity consumption via carefully calibrated optical applications, ultra-efficient LED technology, and intelligent power supply management units. Beghelli systems simultaneously satisfy a whole range of requirements on improving the efficiency of lighting systems in terms of energy saving and reduced environmental impact, in terms of performance optimization, improving visual comfort, and reducing maintenance costs. Latest generation systems can automatically control and regulate the functioning of light sources according to times of day, according to the presence of people or vehicles, and also according to the natural light available, all of which contributes to reducing wasted energy. All Beghelli lighting systems use Smart Driver technology. With Smart Driver, the functioning of each individual lighting appliance becomes personalizable through its integration immediately or over time with the module accessories needed to satisfy various requirements in developing a specific kind of intelligent lighting system. Such systems are able not only to automatically control the intensity of the light emitted by every single appliance, but also to manage functions such as consumption monitoring and the domotic control of automatic settings connected with energy savings, visual comfort and security. A second and even more innovative technology works alongside Smart Driver, called Opticom. This makes it possible to manage program and dialogue with lighting appliances by using a mobile phone camera and flash as tools for an optical communication system. This technology can change and greatly simplify the work of installers and company security personnel. Opticom makes it possible to program light appliances and emergency lighting in a simple and intuitive way. Plus, using the dedicated app, it can also automatically record and preserve the overall system's periodic register as required by current regulations. Yet another demonstration of how the Beghelli Group DNA contains a decisive determination to propose products which strongly feature originality, multifunctionality, and high performance. The experience accumulated in the field of industrial lighting has led Beghelli to also penetrate the private consumer market, offering new ideas with an outstandingly distinct personality. This explains the creation over the years of the traveller's torches, the portable lamps, the Tele Salva la Vita emergency telephone, and now favoured by the need to reduce domestic consumption, Beghelli LED light bulbs. LED, the technology which has transformed today's lighting into tomorrow's, has entered the world's homes. The Beghelli Group, realizing the potential of this technology, invested early on in this new field, marketing its first energy-saving bulbs several years ago. An original proposal confirming the company's ability to anticipate change, which has now grown into a complete range of LED bulbs with traditional design, light and shape, but with consumption reduced by up to 90%. Plus a huge surprise. Beghelli is also active in the field of various popular commercial products, also featuring its assertively innovative nature, such as the water machine, which improves the quality of tap water and is capable of turning it into sparkling water. Its popular commercial products also constitute an important tool for promoting the brand, whose strength and credibility is confirmed by a recent Doxa Research Institute survey. This shows that the Beghelli brand is known and recognized by 84% of Italians. 21% of the population declare that they have purchased at least one Beghelli product. And of these, 95% consider themselves very satisfied with their purchases. Such impressive statistics confirm the group's ability to offer customers useful, high-quality products and efficient services. Beghelli devotes considerable attention to its relations with distributors, installers and designers. It has developed various channels for maintaining active contact with sector operators. An in-house unit and a network of widely spread collaborators on the ground work to provide technical information and sales promotion through conferences and encounters highlighting technical contents and regulations, plus a website offering updated information on novelties, product lines, an electronic catalogue, and calendars of events and trade shows. Another useful factor in company relations, especially on a scientific level, is the Beghelli Academy. This is a space where awareness and expertise can be shared, accessible to all sector specialists. The Beghelli Academy was conceived to explore every aspect of light, from its theoretical principles to relevant legislation and updated technical developments. A place from which training can be conducted by organizing seminars all over Italy, but which also provides concrete support services in activities involving the design of lighting systems. Research, innovation, communication, and service. These are the four cornerstones which have always been part of Beghelli, a major Italian industrial group, which has built its history around light, and which every day draws brilliant new ideas from light. Beghelli, a future built on light.